We're in Community Focus in the Nelson County area. I'm Kenny Fogle, your host. So we're glad you could join us. We're going to talk about something that's near and dear to every single person out here, and that's jobs. And I know we talk about a lot of things on here, but that's one of the most important things that people can have in not only for themselves, but their entire community. So we got Carter Dyson here with us today. And Carter, I'll let you tell us a little bit about what it is you do and what it is you're over. I know we got the career centers now. We used to call them the unemployment office. It's not the same thing anymore.
Well, first of all, Kenny, thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.
Second thing is this: let's deal with the branding issue that you just spoke about right off the bat. We're not the unemployment office. Unemployment is a service that we provide. The Kentucky Career Center we actually work for you. We are your de facto HR department. We are your employment office. We do a myriad of things throughout the community. The only shame about it is that a lot of people are not aware of all the things that we actually do. And I'm thanking you for this opportunity to come around and then kind of enlighten people in terms of what you have in your backyard.
Well, you know, I've got an opportunity. I've been doing some part-time work with another company that I work with, and I had the opportunity to be at the Career Center a couple times a week. And be honest with you, I had no idea some of the things you're going on there, some of the counseling services you're providing, some of the jobs that are waiting for people down there just to come down there and sign up for. I mean, it's amazing what all you're doing. When did all this change take place? I mean, like I said, last time I went was years ago. It was the unemployment office. You went and filed for unemployment. That was basically it.
Well, in years past, when the unemployment rate was relatively high, it was known as the unemployment office. What we have now, let me identify what we do first of all.
Yeah, what is your role?
Well, my role I am the one-stop director, which if you're a football fan, I'm kind of like the NFL commissioner. I listen to the owners, but they have to listen to me. But we have such a good group of people to where they probably just kind of paying me just to be there. I mean, truth be told, because we have an outstanding group of personnel that do a great job. But also we have partners working within our career centers. We have we share the building with the Office for the Blind, the Office of Employment Training, the Office for Vocational Rehabilitation, as well as Workforce Innovative Opportunity Act. And so we are, along with the fact we have other partners that are not housed in the building, such as Job Corps, Adult Education, and there's numerous others that do work with us. What happens is that we do a lot of things besides just give people jobs. We provide training. We act, as I mentioned, de facto HR departments for people. We do, just recently, I went out and I did some training for one of the industries, in Elizabethtown on discrimination and harassment. Also, vocational rehabilitation, they do training on ADA, American Disabilities Act. So and the Blind Office for the Blind also does training there and stuff. There are so many things that are being done. I wouldn't try to name them all to you because I might figure
You have some guy there working with the agriculture people.
We do have somebody that work with our farms. Yeah, farm workers. Farm workers. So we do have that. But here's what I want to say to you. The goal of the Kentucky Career Center is to give the communities a competitive edge in terms of hiring skillful employees. And because at the end of the day, we want the companies to be self-assured that we're providing them with quality applicants. By the same token, we want the people, albeit a small number at this point, percentage-wise, that we do have people that are qualified to work on the jobs. And we want it to be a perfect marriage. We want the companies to come to us and say, hey, we need this particular person. They would call us and give us the credentials of what they need, the characteristics of what they need. If you heard certain commercials, they talk about we need a good and honest person. Maybe they may have an education requirement in there, maybe high school diploma, it may be whatever it is and stuff. We in turn have a list of people. We have two different groups in our buildings. We have what we call employer services, and we have job seekers. Job seekers are self-identified. Those are the ones, obviously, that are seeking jobs. And they come in and they register on our focus. And they put everything that they need in there and stuff. That allows us to be able to go in and do queries depending upon what it is you as an employer call into us and tell us that what you need out of an employee. And so that's how it kind of works. It's a perfect marriage. At least that's the way it's supposed to work.
And well, like I said, I've been impressed. One thing about many of the workers I've seen there, that that take such a personal interest. I mean, I know I had a young lady come in a few days ago, and they were giving her counseling on how to dress for the interview. I mean, something as simple as that. It's not come in and just fill out the paperwork, but they're saying that if you want to go for this interview, here's how you need to dress. This is how you could helping her. She really just taking her the nervousness away and telling her how she could answer some questions.
That's simple to you, but to some people it's not. Mock interviews is one of the things that we do. A perfect example today, a young man was in our office looking for some employment, and we had just gotten an order in, so they needed 2 people immediately. And he wasn't dressed for an interview by any stretch of the imagination. So I sent him around there and I said, first thing you do is apologize. You apologize. I was at the Career Center seeking employment. I saw this. I don't want to pass up the opportunity, give you the chance to hire somebody else because I'm the one that you need. Apologize right off the bat. The first thing you do, throw yourself down on the knife, on the sword, if you will. And then you go ahead and say, look, I apologize, but however, I am interested in this position and stuff. Once the person gets through laughing at you and they start taking you seriously, then that's a possibility. Because they're thinking in their mind, this person is not dressed for an interview. You got to take that out of it. Remove that tension from the situation and stuff. And that's some of the things that we do. And that's just kind of like a off-sided advice we may give. But again, we do mock interviews. You'd be surprised the number of people, Kenny, that are afraid to speak what they consider public speaking. They're only talking to 1 or 2 people.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing I've learned too is people are qualified in certain areas, but there's what you call soft skills. And I know those soft skills are something you stress really strongly.
We do. Soft skills, now, I don't know your age, but I know how old I am. Soft skills back in the days were called common sense. and it's like, be where you're supposed to be, have what you're supposed to have, and do what you're supposed to do. We want you to, the employers want you to be on time. They want you to be where you're supposed to be. And they also want you to put in a good work. You know, there's some people who think that the work ethic is not getting passed down from generation to generation, and there may be some validity to that. But the flip side of it, though, Kenny, is that we do have people that want to work. We do have good people out there. It's up to employers to have certain expectations, and I'll hold those people accountable. But if you want a job, though, you got to put yourself in a position to be attractive to the employer, though. And that's what it's all about. That's what we come in at in terms of training them. You talk about in terms of how to dress. I mean, sometimes people will underdress, they'll overdress. I don't have a problem with overdressing, but sometimes it's underdressing. I'll tell a quick story. My son applied for a job, and he wore some jeans and a T-shirt. And I don't know if I was more upset the fact that he wore that or that he got the job. You know, I didn't understand that one. Yeah. So I mean, evidently he was a good interviewer. But I'm saying though is that when I looked at him, I said, I'm gonna let him learn a lesson. Well, he didn't learn a lesson on that because he got the job and he went down there. But it's not what you want though. Yeah. You want people to look the role. Some simple things, Kenny, such as to research the company that you're trying to get employed with. Those are important to me. If I was interviewing you, when I ask you, why do you want to work here? And then you say, well, the answer is not because I need a job. You know, because some people use that acronym as just over broke. Yeah. And so, but are you looking for a career? Tell me something about, you know, spit something out about the company, about why you think.
Is that something you all could help them with as far as learning a little bit about a company?
We do. Here's what we did. We had something at one point called KCC Go. That's a past program we had. KCC obviously stands for Kentucky Career Center. The GO stands for Get Opportunity. We put together a training program in conjunction, partnering with ECTC. We went with the business. They told us what they wanted out of employees, so we geared the training toward that. And then part of it was that, matter of fact, it was my part to teach them the history of the company. This company happened to be the largest. I think 75% of their business was done in the state. And also, those are some of the things that when the people from the company came in and spoke to them, they were blown away that these people knew some history about it and stuff. Although they probably cheated because I told them. but I'm saying though,
they at least took enough initiative to do that.
They did. They did because nowadays what you have though is that people don't know how to look for jobs. Technology, social media has stopped us from growth in some fields and stuff in terms of communication, personal skills and stuff. Being able to talk to people, you know, people can get to typing and be typing and you next to them. But you've got to be able to communicate. I believe that communication rules the nation. I mean, that's a little phrase that I use. And what happens is that if you're not able to communicate, there are people who are extraordinarily shy, as we spoke of earlier before we went on camera. And there are some who sometimes who are outstanding, but they need to stop standing out there so much. They need to calm it down just a little bit. And when we do that, in terms of looking at the resumes, there are some things, Kenny, you may look at a resume and you may say, well, no way does that fly. Email addresses and stuff. You may have Super Kenny on there. That's probably not going to get you a job. It's funny and it's fun to look at and stuff. Also, sometimes the way it's formatted and stuff, that can be things that'll get you in what people may call 513, what people don't want to look at you. There are some small things. If you get to the interview, obviously, I think you have the skills to get the job. But the flip side of it, though, is that you've got to put yourself in a position where you get that opportunity. That's where the Kentucky Career Center comes in at. And here's the good thing about that, Kenny. Everything we do, ready for this, get ready for it, it's free. It's free. And what happens is that when you come in, and here's in all seriousness, though, that is a problem for some people because it's free. They may not think, well, I'm not paying anything for it. You helping me with my resume? You're not charging me? You're doing a mock interview? You're not charging me? Well, I kind of charge you when you pay your state taxes, but we won't tell them.
Pay that anyway.
we won't tell them that. But those are some of the things that we do. As with the companies, we provide customized, personalized services for them. Mm-hmm. They in turn tell us what they need. We in turn can customize the type of training that they may need. Once we vet the people that they need for them, then we bring them in, and we may need some that are outgoing people. Well, okay, so if you're a shy person, but if you're doing it in call and you're working in a call center, then just being able to talk on the phone. Yeah. Some people may have some communication skills. Some people may have issues writing and stuff.
So the employer trusts you to do a lot of their vetting for them then?
Let me tell you how much they trust us. Hendrickson, who has they have a company, two companies and we're talking right now at the Tri-Counties right now, Nelson, Washington, and Marion. But also they wanted to move to Elizabethtown. They trusted us, came in, used us as a de facto HR department for them. I think we vetted 67 people, 35, we called 35 for interviews, and 34 came in. And they hired, I believe, 30 of those people and stuff. So do they trust us? You make that decision. You look at the numbers, though. I don't know what that percentage is off the top of my head, but it's got to be more than 50, though. So, and just recently, the other day, somebody called us and said they needed, I think, somebody in administration. And we just happened to have 3 people on the list that we needed. Our job seeker team, led by Jerisa Lamons, and our employer service team, headed by Jennifer Carmen, they put their heads together. And what happened was they sent them three different applicants. Mm-hmm. By Friday, they hired that person. So it's a teamwork. It's a collaborative effort. You know, you have outstanding people here, and obviously in the Bardstown office as well as in the Lebanon office that do an outstanding job.
Well, this is not just for the unemployed either. I mean, it's for people looking to change jobs or upgrade or whatever, or just people or just need to strengthen their skills, if nothing else.
Absolutely. It's for unemployed, underemployed. Those that want to get better at some things they do. We actually administer the NCRC, the National Career Readiness Certification Test, which is a nationally recognized test that's not nationally mandated yet, but it's headed that way. Mm-hmm. Ideally, what's going to happen, Kenny, is employers are not going to hire anybody unless they've already passed that test to a certain level and stuff. You got platinum, silver, and bronze levels and stuff. Obviously, platinum is the highest level. Right. And what happens is that's showing that you got 3 different areas that they test you in and stuff. And the higher you make, the more attractive you are to those employees. The same thing we're doing with work ethics in the high schools and stuff. Mm-hmm. We're doing that now so that we've got one of the best practices throughout the whole Commonwealth in terms of getting the kids ready for employment.
Well, the unemployment rate, when it's high, obviously, that's one set of circumstances. But right now, with the unemployment rate being low, mm-hmm. that's a whole different thing. I mean, there's jobs out there, and employers are, I'm not saying they're desperate for people, but they need people. And do you have enough people to just fill all these positions? And if you don't, how do you get them?
I kind of feel like a politician. That's a loaded question. but in terms of population, yes, we do have enough people. Uh-huh. Do we have all those positions filled? No, we don't. And sometimes people are, you may not believe this, Kenny, but some people won't come and pursue jobs because of technology. Because a lot of jobs you have to apply online. Yeah. And some people just are afraid of the computer. I mean, you would expect people that would say in our neighborhood, well, I'm probably older than you, but in the 50 and up neighborhood and stuff, you expect them to come in and have some apprehension about using the computer and stuff. But with some of the younger people that come in, because remember, they don't teach cursive writing in school anymore.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that we need to push toward keyboarding and things of that nature, these people don't have a clue about it and stuff and everything, and it had some apprehension, and so they won't come in unless they get that call from somebody saying, I need you to come in and apply for this job.
But you have people there to help them through that
We
process.
We do. We have what we call a resource room, and we have people that work the area out there, that go out there, and they don't type it for them, but they do everything but that. They give them all kind of leeway, help them make suggestions, because sometimes, Kenny, people don't actually know what they've done when they fill out a resume. Sounds kind of crazy, but some of the things you've done, you don't put it down and
well, you don't think it's important sometimes. There's some things that doesn't sound important to you, and may be extremely important to somebody else.
Absolutely. You, for example, you might see somebody that has been a sanitation engineer for quite a while. Now, you and I know that's a janitor, but by the same token, it has a different sound to it. And also there's some other things, because you always got, in every job, you've got that catch line, plus other duties as assigned. And we do other things, but it helps people to come in. We try to give them courage, but we also, at the bottom line, employers need employees. And we need these companies to stay here because it makes for a robust economy. It makes the employers happy because the less they've got to hire, Kenny, the more productive they can be and stuff. The less you're putting into training and hiring and recruiting, the more you can put into keeping people growing the company and doing things of that nature and stuff. And that's what's important, though.
Now, somebody's scared, say they are computer illiterate, or say they don't think they can pass a drug test or something of that nature. Is that something, I know you have to deal with some of that sometimes. We do.
Well, the last thing you said, we can't have them all with the drugs.
Yeah.
So, but you can come in, and you're right, some people don't have the courage, and that's what I would call it, the courage to think that they can do certain things, the confidence, if you will, to say, I can do this. Because there's some people who actually think if they mistype a letter on there, they're going to tear the computer up. We have people that are that afraid to strike the wrong key. Because I've learned that lesson all too well. In the absence of picking the computer up and throwing it down, and then deleting your stuff twice, it's still in there, and we can find it. Yeah. So, but you do have people come in who are apprehensive about technology. And
well, like I said, I've had the opportunity to come. I've been working with the Connect program. It's still going to do that for the next couple months anyway. We'll be down there every Tuesday in Bardstown in Lebanon. So hopefully Scott Cedarholm and myself. So we invite people to come down and visit us if somebody for some reason or other have lost their insurance. And when people lose their job, quite often they lose their health insurance. Sure, absolutely.
Let me add this before we close, if you will. We've got some job fairs coming up on September 7th at the Lebanon office. TGKY will be there, and on September 6th, MS Recruiting will be at the Bardstown office. September 7th, NESCO will be there, and September 12th, Staffing will be there. We constantly have employers inside of these buildings. Well, you know that. We have people in what we call job fairs, and they are hiring on the spot. And if you don't know, I would like to put this out to them. You can find us at ltcareer.org, ltcareercenter.org. That's ltcareercenter.org. You can find us at Kentucky Career Center Lincoln Trail on Facebook, and on Twitter it's follow KY Career Center LT.
Now, is there a career center in every county in the state, or how's that work?
No, actually, we don't have a career center in every county in our 8-county Lincoln Trail district. We actually have 5. We've got obviously one here in Bardstown. We got one in Lebanon. We got one that's open on Tuesdays only in Springfield. We got one in Elizabethtown. We got one on Fort Knox, and we got one in Litchfield. So no, to answer your question, no, there's not one in every county. Here's what I will say, and I'll take the time to brag on our career centers. Our career centers need to be accredited by 2017, by June, I believe, of 2017. All of our centers were accredited a year early. I believe we were the first ones, and up to this point, we may be the only ones, I'm not sure about that. Certainly the first ad district to have all of their career centers certified by the Commonwealth. So we've got Ken, we've got outstanding people working.
Oh, like I said, they're great people to work with, and I know the one here in Bardstown's on Maple Hill, out on US 62, going from if you don't know where Maple Hill is, a lot of people that are not in this area, if you're taking 62 from Bardstown toward Elizabethtown, that's where you're going to find it at, right past the Nelson County Road Department out in that area, so you're going to be able to find it out there. But so it's an easy place to find, and again in Lebanon, you got a brand new one in Lebanon, a beautiful facility.
Brand new in Lebanon, 516 Workshop Lane. It's right behind the health department. And those ladies down there do a great job. The building is beautiful. They put in a yeoman's efforts, as do all our people.
They do.
But they certainly go beyond Call of Duty. I don't know how you can do 110%. I always thought you were going to do 100, but
I think there is, because they do the 100% is what their job is, but they go above and beyond their job. Every one of them I've seen, like I said, they're not intimidating. When they come in, they're very inviting and they're very friendly. So if somebody is scared to go down to one of the career centers because they think, well, somebody's going to lecture them on something, that's just not the way it's going to be.
Had a young man in there today, worked at a place for 5 years. Actually, I go to church with him, and he was talking about, he had his head down because he had lost his job. Say for 5 years, Kenny, you probably knew what you needed to do to get terminated, and it may have been something else.
Yeah.
It could very well have been. And he left out with his head up in there, feeling a little better about himself and everything. I lost a job once out there for 8 years, so I know it can happen.
Oh, it happens. It happens. And if for no fault of your own, for a variety of reasons, cutbacks, changing the environment, there's so many reasons that you can lose a job. But again, it's great that you're there to make the connection. And that's really what it is, a connection between the employee and a potential employer. So both of them have to trust you.
It is. Ken, the bottom line is we know employees are looking for qualified workers, and we know people are looking for work. And we want to serve as the connection.
Absolutely. Well, Carter Dyson here with us today. We appreciate you being here with us, and appreciate you taking the time. And I know you've got a big job ahead of you, getting everybody to work. Even in good times, there's still more to do. So I appreciate you doing it.
We're up for the task, though. Thank you for having me, though.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, and appreciate you for tuning in. And if you're looking for a job or looking to just get a little better in your job, give one of his people a call in one of the areas you're in. Again, look it up online and the Kentucky Career Center here in our local area. Stick around, a lot more to come here on Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. We got more to come on everything we do right here on Channel 6 TV, Central Kentucky Television. Be right back.